Jay's Knotty Wood. It's a one-man shop. This is my journey into woodworking. Come learn with me.
This is the last video in the series. I'm working on placing the handles in the form using the step-offs. Here I'm just dry fitting, if you will. Pre-drilling the correct positions for the step-offs when they'll be screwed in at a later time. The parts on the upward piece of the form don't fit yet. I will have to cut off one of the arms on the handle to fit and make sure it's floating just above the form or skeleton underneath. That way I get the same airspace in between for the LEDs and the glow all the way throughout. Looking at the bottom right of this form, you will see the first step off placed. As I go through here, I am spacing out each spot for the step-offs, and the plan and vision is coming to life. These step-offs are a silicone product that come with a button attachment that snaps into place. When I saw these, I thought these are the end of my troubles. The problem is, I find out that these handles are too heavy for one of these button step-offs, and that is all I really have room for in this form is one. So, need to have an issue. Second lesson in these step-offs comes from the Alpha Dog build. If you watch through that series, you will see that these step-offs are not good at all for what I intended to use them for. Wait, when did all this get painted? And all of the step-offs, they're placed. When did that happen? Yeah, that's the result of some lost footage. I'm sorry. I truly apologize. I will explain that process in a little bit. For this build, I used 2x3 boards for the handles. They were cut into shape using the Ryobi bandsaw. Then I used the Ryobi cordless trim router to round over each edge and surface on those handles. Then I used the Ryobi cordless random orbital sander to sand it to the desired feel. Nice and smooth, rounded out, good to go. The LEDs I used for this project were the Govee M1 RGB IC LED strip lights. These things allow for programming 50 different segments of the strips. Something like every 6 to 10 LEDs can have different programming. They're nuts. During this project, I learned a lot along the way. I learned to trust my vision, as well as that it is okay that if the initial vision has to change within the process, it does. I picked up some valuable time on the bandsaw. Did I say 27 pieces yet? Well, that is just the pieces that made it to the final edition. I was able to fine adjust the trim router using the round over bit, not to leave that little shelf that ended up creating more sanding for me, because I wanted it to be smooth. The best part about doing things like this, new and raw if you will, is that I will pick up different little fixes and adjustments that I won't realize I did or need until the next project, or even later on. Every solution helps me push myself into a better or different way of thinking about what am I doing in the woodworking, in the shop, etc. Small promo break. Hit that button. Thank you for watching. This is where I start to figure out that those buttons are not going to hold. I'm placing all of the pieces in the correct spot according to the paint job, I think. I should have labeled these better. Hindsight. Anyhow, the buttons stick to the wood after the good set time with the super glue. Sorry, CA glue. The problem wasn't that. The problem was that they were coming unbuttoned. These handles are not even close to being centered on the internal structure, and the lopsided weight of them just allowed for the longer handles to fall off with little to no pressure. Not what I wanted. Especially if this is hanging. I don't want them randomly falling off. The solution to the buttons not holding their button is to pluck them off with vice grips. The super glue worked. What you don't see in these videos is the solution. The solution was to replace those buttons with dowels. I used 3/8 dowel, drilled in half depth right where the button should have been. After ripping off the buttons of 27 pieces and drilling 27 holes, the handles were fit to work. Glued the dowels in. They slid right into the step-offs, and it worked perfectly. They're stuck on there nice and tight. Almost too tight, but not too tight. And then, here we are.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Leave feedback. Whatever you want to do, hit that share button. And I will see you next time on Jay's Naughty World.